So, welcome to another episode of Fitness Reborn International live here on WINJECT Studios. Today, it's a weird day to be here. It's the 1st of February, and there's a lot of emotions going on. A lot of people are feeling a bit of a dip, a lot of people are feeling the high. I want to specifically speak about something that's really close to my heart today, and that is mental health. Yesterday, we heard the news of a very, I don't remember her name, not remember her name, I can't pronounce her name properly, so I don't want to do any injustice to her name actually. But she was a model, a high fly model, and she took her own life in New York, and it sparked a lot of, how do I say, triggers for a lot of us, those who have experienced depression and have actually experienced dark thoughts. And it led me, I spent the whole day just thinking and speaking about why it is important that we check in on our friends, our loved ones, the one that smiles the biggest, laugh the loudest, feel like they've got everything in check. And it is a journey that we are all on, and it is a journey that we're all going to experience low times. That's a given. That's a given fact of life. And I'm here today to speak to some of you. If you're here listening to this, obviously you're not here by mistake. Maybe you need to hear this. And I want you guys just to pay attention to what's coming up for you emotionally, what's coming up for you in your feelings. Depression is something a lot of us might be feeling um, this year. And I say this year because I feel like the last 2 years, a lot of things have been catching up. A lot of people haven't realized the mental health crisis that they've been under or going. It's just a matter of surviving for a lot of people. And myself personally, I experienced what we call the PTSD of lockdown. It's the aftermath of dealing with the pandemic. It's a lot of things that's going to be heightened for a lot of people. And I think the point I want to make here right now is when we are actually experiencing discomfort, when we are actually experiencing pain, suffering, and everybody's situation is different. And I had this saying in my head yesterday that went something like, we all suffer the same but different because our situations and circumstances are different. Okay, you might be going through a breakup, you might be going through a divorce, you might be whatever it is, grieving over a lost one. These things catch up with us. And if you also have spent time by yourself in the last 2 years, it can be a whole different kind of pain, emotional spiral, whatever it is. Now, one of the things that winter, the season, does to us, it makes us feel very demotivated. It makes us feel very uninspired to live a life on purpose with meaning. Not everyone, some people, because we don't prepare for winter. Winter is the most harshest months of the whole year, and a lot of us fail to prepare for it. And what happens is we go through this horrible motion of just surviving and not living. And these seasons teach us a lot about how to shed the old skin and come into the new one. And for me and a lot of the girls that I've been working with, it's a matter of showing you them how to actually manage their emotions. Depression is not a joke. Mental health is not a joke. Having suicidal thoughts is real. It's really, really real in your head. It's something a lot of us can control, some things that a lot of people can't control. Your thoughts spiral out of control. And yet we have, as humans, we have what we call the ability to control our thoughts if only you know how to guide it in the right way. And when I was speaking on my snaps yesterday, Insta story, it was telling people like it's okay not to feel okay. It's okay to tune in. It's okay to sometimes say, you know what, I'm done with this. I want better for myself. And it's taking those steps to just making those small changes. And those small changes take a lot of guts. It takes a lot of courage. And I guess February coming we're in the 1st of February. Valentine's Day is around the corner. Relationships are a sticky one, man. Relationships are hard, both for females and men, on how we deal with being in a relationship and how we deal with being single. And a lot of people um, actually suffer mentally for not having something that they want, like a spouse. So everybody's different. I'm just saying from what I hear from a lot of my clients and from myself as well. And it makes you feel like there's no meaning and you end up just doing things because you have to. And right now, we are going through a huge shift in energy in the universe. Things are moving very, very fast. Things are happening. The world is going back to normal. People are going back to work. You know, the functioning of families and relationships is all changing now. And with change, what happens is the human can't adapt quickly. It takes time. Yet the human can adapt quickly. Because if you think about when we went into lockdown in March in 2020, we got on with it. And that's it. Getting on with it. But this time around, it might be a bit different for all of us to go back and adapt. There's a famous saying, it's survival of the fittest. And I think this comes from Charles Darwin. And he says it's survival of the one that can adapt the quickest. How are you adapting to your situation? How are you adapting to your emotions? How are you taking control of what's going on around you? And when you don't have the knowledge, when you don't actually have the capacity or experience, actually is a very important one. When you don't have the experience, you end up doing the same thing again and again and again. And I'm going to speak to you a bit about the time when I went through my dark period, 2013, 14. All I knew was how to speak negativity into life, into the day. And that just spiraled. That meant every day I would wake up seeing the worst in the situation. There was no happiness and there was no joy. And you lose sight of what you have to offer the world and what you have to offer to yourself. And one of the best things I've also learned in the neuroscience of fitness is understanding how people's brain works. Take time out to understand how this organ works. Like, why are we not doing that? Why aren't we doing that? We could save ourselves a lot of trouble if we just took some time out just to figure out what is the brain actually doing. When I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm hungry, it's fascinating. And the thing that I learned was your thoughts become a feeling, and then your feelings become a reality, the things that happen in real life. And depression is the last stage of whatever's been going on. So again, let me give you an example. Okay, I suppressed a lot of my emotion, suppression. I couldn't, I felt a lot of me was repressed, like in a little tight container. And then the depression phase was the eruption of the volcano. I just didn't know what to do with all these feelings, all of these emotions. All I knew was anger and sadness day and day out. And it was exhausting. Being angry was exhausting. Being sad was exhausting. And then I had to learn how to make my thoughts healthier so I could have a happier and joyful life. And a lot of people right now have become comfortable in their routine, shall I say. And let's bring fitness into this. The joy that fitness gives you is something that's going to be unmatched. We're looking at an increase of endorphin, serotonin, your happy chemicals are all happening here. Okay, and it's important for people to take control of their life one step at a time. To say, I'm sick and tired of being upset. I'm sick and tired of feeling this way. You can have the prettiest face. You can have billions and millions of pounds in your bank account. You can have the prettiest partner with you, the 2.4 children. You can have it all, okay? And people will look at you and say, well, what's there to be upset about? Okay, there's always going to be something we're going to feel a gap, an avoidance, a trigger, a past, something that makes us feel some way about it. And we're not exempt from those emotions and those feelings. And the problem with a lot of us right now is seeking things that make no sense. Okay, you're not going to get a fast track in healing. You're not going to get a fast track in dropping the weight or getting fit. The idea is for you to channel in and find out what is going on. A lot of us don't know what's going on because all we've done is layered the trauma upon trauma, but we haven't taken a step back to say, okay, and acknowledging like, this is what needs fixing. This is where I'm hurting. This is what's causing me pain. This is where I need to forgive myself, and this is what needs to be done. Therapy work, whatever it is that you need to do. And I guess coming into February, we're coming into a new season as well. Remember this, we're coming into a new season. We have to now prepare ourselves mentally to adapt to this new season. Summer's going to be here again. You've got to learn how to adapt to summer again. Then we're going to go through the cycle of autumn, then back to winter. And this year we have to all dig deep to do something different from what was last year and the year before. If you were feeling uncomfortable last year for whatever reason, this year make sure you're not doing the same crap. And that all goes down to how are you nourishing. And this is a key word. How are you nourishing your thoughts? How are you nourishing your physical body? And how are you nourishing your soul? All of these play hand in hand. Okay, there's a reason why people say, oh, that was so nourishing for the soul. When your spirit is full, you feel full mentally. When you're mentally full, you want to do better for your physical body. That is going and exercising, that is drinking enough water, that is eating well. And if you keep a calendar and keeping a track of the days that you're feeling low and the days that you're feeling high, and then coming back to it when you need it as a pick-me-up, you can look at those days and say, you know what, this was a 10 out of 10 day. What did you do that day? And go back and follow those steps. It's really not that hard, sorry. It's a very simple way of looking at it, but it's about putting things into perspective and saying, this is what I need to do and this is how I'm going to do it. Depression, again, is a hard journey for a lot of us. We don't, and I say we, let me go back to me again. I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel when I was going through it. There was no light at the tunnel. It was very, very hard for me to see it. But there was glimmers of hope that allowed me to hold on. And I think that leads to the word resilience, grit. Okay, you've got to have this inner resilience, this inner grit to say, I want more for my life. There's a reason why I'm here, and I'm going to make the most of it. And essentially for me, it always started at the gym, in the fitness arena. The fitness is the beautiful arena for us to actually focus on where life is. This is where it all starts, right? And you have to see yourself as a Spartan. You have to see yourself as a gladiator in this arena, and you're the only one that's going to win. Like, I wish we were told that life was going to be pretty crap growing up, I don't think it's pretty shit sometimes. And the sooner we tell young people this, you can prepare them in the harshest way possible. And the more, how do I say this, more pain sometimes you go through, right? It creates you, how do I say it makes you stay ready for the next chapter. You stay ready for the next situation. So you go inwards and you're able to stay calm in the midst of the chaos. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any, just your own experiences, how you dealing with this part of your life, this part of the year, shall I say, as well, and how are you nourishing your body, your mind? What are you doing? You've got to find routines, you've got to find tools and resources to help you. And this is why I love being a coach, because allowing people to come out of the part of the brain that's been hijacked by the reptilian part and bring them back to what we call the logical, the prefrontal cortex. And that's the whole idea when you're training, when you are meditating, you're coming away from this negative part of the brain into the logical part of the brain, the human brain, right? The human brain loves being chilled and calm and not stressing, not worrying. So yeah, that's it for me on the 1st of February. Beautiful start to the day so far. We're gonna make this year work, man. That's what I want for all of us. We're gonna do the things that we said we weren't gonna do this year. We're gonna take quantum leaps. That's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna break away from all the negative patterns one day at a time. So peace and love. And if anybody is struggling mentally, please make sure you speak to someone. Please make sure you reach out. And oh yeah, let me just put this out there as well, right? I've never done this before, by the way. Seeking therapy. I'm going to seek therapy. I got somebody that will be seeing me on a weekly basis. I'm paying a lot of money for it. and it's nothing to be ashamed about. I think everybody needs a therapist. Everybody needs a fitness coach, a therapist, and that's the best way to live a life. I'm going to be documenting my journey actually on this, the things that I'm learning at this big age. When I was a bit younger, I felt a bit ashamed to do it, because when you hire a therapist or you say you need a therapist, it's automatically seen as there's something wrong with you. Hell yeah, there is something wrong with me. There's something wrong with all of us. And some people are okay to admit it, because those are the people that are going to grow more better, to live a rich full life, I guess. So that's what I'm going to leave you on. Lots of love until next week. See you then.
Podcast is brought to you by WINJECT Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.